we'll check on the underside of the car. We'll check things like the sway bar here, the sway bar links, see if there's any movement on them. Also check the bottom ball joint, because these are a ball joint that's actually pulled apart as such. As you can see there, the suspension is pushing down on this lower arm, which pulls against the joint, as opposed to a compression ball joint, which doesn't matter. It's always being pressed together instead of pulled apart. It's like dislocating a hip almost. So what we do is we just put a bar up in here under the rotor, and we'll just push it up, see if there's any movement up in there, which there's not. Usually they'll move up and down. Also checking the steering and the bolts that hold in, make sure they've got the wheel on these ones. Make sure the rack boots are okay. Sway bar, and the sway bar links in here. The bottom ball joint, no movement there. Of course, the inner control arm bushes, make sure they're alright. No movement or the torn or anything, all the bolts are done up. All the cross members bolted up to the subframe. Everything's there, yeah. Continue on down the car, checking for any leaks, of course, from the transmission. A little bit of oil coming out the tail shaft assembly of the transmission, but it's not excessive, it's not spraying around under the car or anything, it's just the end seal starting to slowly give out. We'll check the UJs in the drive shaft just by putting a bar between them and giving the bar a twist to see if there's any movement as such. See if there's no movement there. So they're all good, all the needle rollers in there. Same down the back one. That's alright. Quite new, must have been changed a wee while ago, was it? Okay. No. We'll check the rear lower control arm bushes in here. There's no excessive movement, the nuts are all tight. Again with the rear sway bar and the mounts for it. Sway bar links. Control arms. It's alright. Across the diff, looking for any excessive leaking out of the back of the diff, which is none. We'll take the bung out and check all the oils, and then just as we've gone down the car, we've had a look at the exhaust on it, make sure there's no holes. So quite often they crack up around the front here on these, and they rot out in the back. But this one looks in good condition. We're back up the front of the car now. We'll go through for the final check just around the brakes and that. We'll just have a look at the brake hoses up the top here. We're looking for any cracking and the flexible hoses to the brakes in the front. If there is, it should be replaced. And if it's for like a roadworthy in Australia, it would fail the correct brake lines in the front. So we're looking, when you bend them, they should crack just in the corners where they flex. They're all good. And all the hoses, these are fuel lines and brake lines, the small ones running down here. Make sure there's no damage to them, of course. One's back up to the master cylinder up the front of the car. Same, the fuel lines are not leaking. And there's your coil packs up the top, so it doesn't have a distributor, this one. It's all good. Okay, now we're just going to drop the oil out of the vehicle. Just drop this down a bit so I can get a spanner on it. Now, so we'll just crack the nut. Now some people do these really tight. It's not too bad. Try not to get a facial from the scalding oil. Just let that drain out. Grab the filter. I'll just go and get a tool for that. The oil's still in reasonable condition. It's sort of got a light reddish tinge to it, a browny colour. It's not black and it's not running out like treacle, like some cars I've seen. So it's had regular oil services as well, and they've been done at the correct intervals. Have a look. It smells alright. Grab the oil filter out. There she goes. oil filter. Put it down there, which is very, very hot. And also grab the new oil filter now. And we'll put this on, and Filter Craft put a plastic cover on the top of it. And it's also pre-lubed as well. So we don't have to worry about putting the oil on it to stop it from sticking to the block, which makes it really hard to get them back out next time. Put that up in there. Get it threaded onto the boss, which is a little thread that they thread on. Do that up. This is the sump bone. Now, they put a little rubber grommet type washer on the bottom of them, so they just have to be nipped up to a certain torque setting. That's all it requires. You don't have to swing on it like it's a head bolt or anything like that. Done. Now it's time for a drink. Unfortunately, it's not beer. Oh, that's better. This is the high pressure line out of the back of the power steering pump. It's got a little bit of movement in it, but I think it's got a little O-ring in there that seals under pressure. But in saying that, there is a little bit of fluid on the pipe, which indicates it is leaking just a little bit. Fluid levels were okay in the pump. Cool. Now we're going to check the wheel bearings. It's part of the steering rack and the top ball joints on the steering. So first things first, we'll spin the wheel and hang on to the back of the hub and see if there's any vibration, which there isn't. Let's stop the wheel, not with our finger though. Top and bottom of the tyre, we'll pull it in and out, see if there's any movement in the wheel bearing. Both sides, there's none there. Pull the wheel right out to the side, and we'll go in behind it, and we'll go to the tyre rod, which is the ball joint from the steering to the hub. See if there's any movement on that, there's none. We'll go into the back, which is the rack end, put our finger in the ball in there, and see if there's any movement in the back there, which there isn't. So the steering and the wheel bearing and the top ball joint, they're all good. So we're checking the tyre rod by holding onto the tyre, putting our finger in the joint and moving the tyre in and out, see if there's any movement. If there is, it should move in and out like this, or up and down slightly. Now, to the rack end at the other end, it's very similar to a ball joint in there. We put our finger in the joint and we push the tyre in and out and see if we can feel the ball moving in and out, which it's not, so that's all good as well. The suspension up the front, they're all good. Now on the back, so just spin the wheel. There's a little bit of squeak there, which we'll have a look at. It's feeling pretty vibration, which there is none through the wheel bearings or anything like that. There's no movement there at all. This is your rear spring and your strut, your shock inside it. We'll just run our finger around the bottom of that, see if there's any oil, which there's not, so it's not leaking, so that's good. We'll go around the other side and do the same. We'll take the rear wheels off and do this side first. That's the little spring that holds the hubcap on, which should be in the side of it, but this is broken. It's only held on by just 3 of them and no more. If they get put on wrong and people break them, that one's just about gone there. That one is gone, so is that one, so it's held on by 2. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll just slip the caliper off. So we'll have a look at the condition of the pads, see how thick they are. Slip that over there. Check the caliper's not leaking, which it's not. Pads. They're on good condition, a little bit of popping on them, but not too bad. The popping is usually caused by a bit of outgassing. So the pads are all in good condition. We'll just see whether it's still making a noise. So we're taking the pads off. Now we're going to spin it again because there's handbrake shoes inside this drum. So I'll spin it, see if it's still making noise. Yep, it's still making noise, so it's the handbrake shoes inside the drum. So now we have to take the cage off, take the drum off and see what's going on. Or the rotor in this case. This is the handbrake mechanism inside the drum itself on the rotor. This is how it works. I'm pulling the lever at the back of it and it pushes the 2 little pistons out. That's just a mechanical thing, there's no hydraulics in it. The hydraulic part of the brakes is the caliper at the top here, and that's done with your foot. This is the handbrake. Other people still presume that these are an emergency brake on vehicles like this, but they're not. They're just specifically a holding brake. If you pull this handbrake on at speed, it'll just destroy itself. So we'll put it back together and see if we've got rid of the noise. Okay. This is the disc rotor here, where your braking's done with your foot. This is the drum for your handbrake. So we put it on correctly, lining up the holes. So we've got an adjustment hole to readjust it. There we go. Somewhere in there, there's the adjustment. Okay Pete, we've pretty much finished the full service on your car. We've gone through and checked underneath it, replaced the serpentine belt up the front, new oil and filter on it. So I'm Gordon.